it's starting to become like the new norm, right? Nobody's getting married anymore. So it's not like it's taboo the way it used to be. Now, is it an ideal situation? Absolutely not. But we're acting like this doesn't happen every single day. Just like you guys are saying, some people may have a daddy and don't even know what a man is. You feel me? Um, People are adopted every single day. Nothing she's doing, these things have happened, and the kids have turned out okay. Some of y'all may not know y'all daddy. We're not gonna talk about that, but you turned out okay. So I think that, and then you add on the fact that she has resources, the kid is probably going to end up in a better situated situation than most. Okay, now is it an ideal situation? If we're arguing that part, absolutely not. Ideally you want a mom and dad, but we know through foster care, through adoption, that's not always the situation. Now, I don't know. She may be in a relationship. We just know what she's telling us, right? It could be that she chose a man and she was like, "Hey, can I get your sperm? I won't say your name because I got nosy people who read." We don't know the situation for real. We just know about what she's telling us. But I think that the kid is going to be okay. I think there may be questions like, "Oh yeah, I don't have a dad," but we're assuming that she won't find a man. And I can tell you this, stepdads will probably rather there not be a man involved than there be a man involved. Okay. They may be like, okay, at least I ain't got no baby daddy issues. I can come in, take over. So again, I'm not saying that this is an ideal situation. I'm just saying I think the kid is gonna be okay.
So, so if a father came in and he was like, "Hey, he got this woman pregnant," and he was like, "Well, I really don't want to be a father," and he was like, "That kid gonna be all right without me,"
They do that all the time. What are you talking about?
and you're with, and what I'm questioning is, would you be like, "You absolutely right. He don't need you. Go ahead and do your thing, brother. That child don't need you. He gonna be a-okay."
So let me just say this. In a situation like that, no, he's not going to be okay. But I'm going to tell you this: the psychology behind a man. So, what would you rather be in a situation where your daddy don't want you, or you just
No,
don't even?
I'm questioning your logic. You can't say in one breath that a child will be okay without their father. And then when I question your logic by pushing the issue and saying, well, if a man was to come up and say, "Hey, look, I don't have to be there," that child will be just fine because there's been plenty of children that were raised without a father and they turned out okay. If he offered you that same argument because he didn't want to be a parent, you should be able, your logic should immediately lead you to saying, yeah, I would probably say the same thing. The kid might be okay.
I will. I will. We
Okay,
see it,
then.
and the reason why I'm saying it is we see it every day. We have people who are very successful, including our old president, who is in the same situation. So, what are we talking about here? So,
Man, look,
what? So,
even
like what I want to be very clear. Ideally, we want both parents to be very involved. We want you to have a mom and a dad. Okay. There
Hold
are.
on.
even if you did have
Get that in there,
even if
y'all.
you did have a stepfather in your life that was taking care of you, he had money and all this shit, and you had all the sneakers and shit all you want, whatever the hell you want. Even if you did have this stepfather, knowing that you had a real father, you still gonna want to know who the fuck that is. You still gonna want to know, even if that nigga can't take care of you.
Sure.
I've been in that situation before. I still want to know who my damn father was. This
But
dude that was
the,
in the house was excellent. That
absolutely.
it don't
But
matter.
Hold on,
I
y'all. We gotta
want
get.
to know who my real father is, and the older I get, the more and more resentment is gonna grow against whoever's trying to keep me from knowing that information.
All right, what's going
it's
on, D?
different for men than it is for women.
Yeah, we're talking about the Ebony Williams being pregnant. I'm pretty sure you was able to grab a little bit of context from everybody. So, what are your thoughts about her being pregnant and not having a father in the picture, allegedly?
I mean, it come to choices. I mean, as it's been said, we see it all today. But if you got the mindset to bring a kid in with the choice of like either I'm with somebody or I am without, I mean, you can look at this situation from many different ways. So in her, situation, if she's like, I have everything lined up, who's to say the kid will be, good or not? I mean, it's a hard call. I think, unfortunately, in today's society, just with even being sexual active, you either got people that got the mindset, hey, I'm going to do what I do, get pregnant, and go a kid, and then who's up to raise a child? But you have those to where you could plan a kid with somebody. It may not work out. I think with women, if you are in that position, you know who the father is. Don't deny whether he's going to be somebody that's present or not. And even with some of the women, unfortunately, they're not the best fit parents. But even as a child is seeking who the father is, even just their roots or background of anything, I feel like a child should never be denied that access. And even if your past, whatever you did with this person, you may not like them, or you just grown to hate them. So it's just really honestly just whatever position a person is in, and I guess really what they striving for. So is it favorable for a child to not have both parents in their life? It does like kind of sadden, but we see it. You can either learn from it and grow from it, strive to be whatever the best possible that this kid is going to be. I know children that have two parents in the household, very just tough environment, bad. You got those that are raised by a single parent, whether he's a mother or a father. But generally with women, sometimes they could be a little bit more emotional whole when it comes to these type of situations. If I'm mad at the father of my child, would I take it out on them? Me personally, no, I'm not, but I know a lot of women that do that. So um but even with the just speaking of like Nick Cannon, so he has the wealth, he can do, so it's even like a monetary gain. Some of these women, it's like, oh, I don't have to work, I do X, Y, and Z, I know I have this. It's just being comfortable in a situation. So what is it they're getting out of it? Even I don't know exactly who y'all speaking of, but just from hearing of the words of everybody. So what is her, like role, like what is her, status quo and everything, to where she doesn't need that worry about child care and the kid get here and all of this stuff. It's less worry on like the back end, but it's just really like, it's like a wake up call for society. Do we start getting to the point to where you don't see the men in the house? Do you not have that voice? And similar to what was said earlier, if a man is coming in without another man involved in the picture, it's more favorable for him to have a voice over that house. If you coming in dealing with a man that's already involved, so you mean to tell me I got to deal with this woman, and then also this man might have an issue with what I'm finna just even setting a standard. So even with the kid, and you're bringing in that stepfather, scenario. How willing are you to be able to be open to this person? Just like, I don't want to use the word grooming, but when it just comes to like just setting that foundation, teaching, like thinking about all of this stuff. So, but I mean, it could go into a lot of different ways. It's just really when it comes down to mentally, you at a point bringing the kid in, whether it's a one night stand, whether it's somebody that that financial responsibility is on, like, okay, well, I'm finna do this. So my personal situation, I was married, divorced, damn near 10 years, but I never put him on child support because I had the mindset before I had my children. If anything were to go south, he's never been denied his children. It just goes from there. So I can't speak from everybody, but for myself, I knew that I would be financially able to do whatever it is that my children needed to do.